Hi, I'm Anika, and I'll be speaking about the differences and similarities of Chinese and Australian HR practices. Recruitment and selection. Recruitment practices. Recruitment and selection, two critical operations in HRM through which an organization can select potential candidates who, with their talents, will successfully achieve the organization's goals. In recent years, organizations in China have westernized their recruitment and selection process. However, there remains a contrast in several aspects of the process compared to Australia. The first difference is between the two countries is the availability of skilled workforce. While China has an abundance of skilled labor, Australia has constantly faced a shortage of skilled people. This contrasting difference can also explain the culture of job hopping in China, resulting in simple or rushed recruitment process practices. Private recruitment agencies, job fair, and campus recruitment are common searching grounds for job hunting individuals in China. When it comes to similarities, both countries have seen a surge in the use of online web channels to advertise and to seek job opportunities, though traditional corporations in China persist in print media advertisement. Selection practices. Selection. Whilst the most commonly used selection method in both countries are one-to-one interviews, test and reference checks, Chinese employers nevertheless use a probation period as a primary selection method to evaluate whether the candidate is the best fit for the role. Another contrast is the slow adaptation of psychological and aptitude tests by traditional Chinese corporations in comparison to Australian organizations where these tests are well favored. Learning and development. Learning and development initiatives ensure that employee skills and knowledge are being developed to fulfill the organization's strategic and operational objectives. Prioritizing development will ensure competitive advantages and ensure the organization's success. Both China and Australia give importance to vocational education and training. Furthermore, China places an emphasis on the development of managerial workers due to the prior strict, centrally planned economic system, which left a gap in the managerial sectors. On-the-job training is a primary choice for training methods in China. In Australia, however, employers prefer both accredited, which are qualification-based, nationally recognized training from the VET system, and non-accredited training. Research shows employers in Australia use nationally recognized training due to the emergence of new technology and to provide specific job or business related skills for their organizations. Furthermore, in Australia, employers could be eligible for government funding to assist them with employee traineeship programs. This grant helps facilitate the learning and development system in Australian workforce as it defrays the cost of training provisions. Rewards and performance. Rewards and performance drive engagement, retention, and higher performance across an organization. In the last few decades, China took several steps to reform their reward system when it opened the economy to a market-led open economy. The government reinstated peace parades and bonuses to improve the dramatic productivity and motivation problems. Structural wage systems were also reinstated in the public sectors, followed by a fixed and flexible wages that remain till this day. Although the minimum wage remains low at $4.77 AUD for many workers, big corporations have adopted pay performance with monetary and non-monetary bonuses and promotions for their employees to encourage and motivate them. More recently, foreign trips for high-performing employees are being offered by big Chinese corporations as bonuses. Similarly, in Australia, employers have a performance reward system in place for their employees. Financial rewards or more personalized on-the-spot feedback and peer-to-peer review are standard practices among employers in Australia. Monetary reward system like bonuses and non-monetary reward system like awards or certificates, as well as corporate discounts, extra time off, employee assistance programs, and recognition programs are standard practices to keep employees engaged and motivated to achieve the organization's strategic objectives.
Hello everyone, my name is Yuanze Huang. Today I will talk about international human resource management theory and discuss appropriate staffing approaches, control mechanisms, and factors driving the standardization and localization that politics have to consider if they want to build manufacturing plants in China. Okay, everyone knows that global management is not kind of an easy thing. So first, I want to discuss the complexity of managing performance in a global context. There are some main issues consequences in the multinational enterprise performance management. You guys can have a look here. There are 4 main issues. And in addition, performance management is part of multinational enterprise control mechanisms. Then I will discuss staffing approaches. I think geo-centric and ethnocentric both suitable for the politics. We can have a look. Geo-centric is a global approach, and the nationality is less important than ability. The company often assigns job positions to any persons best suited for the position. And for the ethnocentric, few foreign subsidiaries have any autonomy, and the key positions in domestic and foreign operations are held by managers from headquarters. And then I will discuss about the control mechanisms and factors. They are all included in the standardization and localization. Briefly, I think the control mechanisms can divide into the centralization and decentralization. Those both has their own advantages. Like centralization can facilitate coordination and make the cost effective. Decentralization can burden top management of decisions and permits greater flexibility. And then talk about the 3 main factors driving the standardization and localization. The first one, cultural environment. It means different cultures may approach intrinsic and extrinsic motivators differently. And for the institutional environment, for example, Germany has a dual vocational training system. It will impact recruitment and selection. And this one is supported by structure to sustain standardization. Finally, I will discuss the cross-cultural theory. I think cross-cultural training is significant. For example, it can make the cultural awareness and improve the communication negotiation skills and the cross-cultural negotiations, and also can assist us with practical day-to-day matters.
Hello audience, this is Zijie. I'm in charge of Chinese part of this presentation. Let's start it. We figured out 3 potential challenges of politics set up a manufacturing plant in China, which include recruitment and selection challenge, localization challenge, humanistic goal with performance challenge. So let's start it with the recruitment and selection. So before I start it, I'm going to show you a graph. It's about the labor force differences, and that's based on Anika's research. Look at here. China has 771 million local labor force in the labor market, but Australia only has 13.4 million labor force in the labor market. That graph just intuitively show you the gap between 2 countries' labor force by population. And then the first challenge incoming is about the selection style or the focus. We all know Australian companies pays more attention to psychological testing and interviews. So that means look at this population. That means in Australia that will be fun, but look at this kind of overwhelming candidate population that Australian selection still might be unable to achieve in China. So that's the first challenge. Then the second challenge is about the localization. It's actually it's the manager localized, and look at the table of there is the Australian company and the German company localization. And the last one, no intention to substitute expatriate by local or local hired foreign managers. Australian companies have 14.3 percentage. That means local managers playing a critical role in Australian companies. And in this scenario, job hopping, this kind of culture is the challenge of this localization, because job hopping that caused the companies to face many difficulties. Many people just join another attractive company for compensation or promotion. Replacing managers will have a certain degree of impact on the company's localized management and the company's management model, thereby affect the performance. So that's the localization challenge. Then we move to the third challenge. So the third one is about the humanistic goal with the performance, is about salary and welfare. It also affects the performance with the salary by of employee to these employees. And in fact, that challenge is about the local organization, because they are not like past decades. They are rising and they can pay same or even better salary and welfare to their employee. So that's a challenge to Australia organizations. In summary, we still suggest the politics set up the manufacturing plant in China, because the cheaper raw material and cheaper work salaries is saving costs, and those kind of challenges can be overcome. Yeah. And that's all for my part. Thanks for watching.